we go. Round 2. We're going on another stream here. Appreciate you guys coming along earlier today. Had an awesome Trade Titans show. And if you haven't checked that out already, the YouTube long form is going to be up any minute here. You guys should be able to watch it. And can't wait to have you tuned in on episode 2. But how is everybody else doing tonight? What do we got going on? What can I help you with? Hopefully we can get this chat popping. We got Chris in here right away. Start Travis Hunter over Addison or Tet this week. That's going to be a no, man. That's going to be a no. I'd rather start Tet. Traded Pittman for Waddle last week. What are your thoughts? In what capacity, Adam? Is this a Dynasty league? Is it a redraft league? What are we dealing with? If it's Dynasty, yeah, I'll take the Waddle side. If it's redraft, I probably would have just stuck with Pittman. Got Josh McVay, Sean's brother over here. What's up, Josh? He says Vidal, Worthy, or Olave. I'm going to go Olave there. Abuka for Genti and Ferguson. Scout was my RB2. Yeah, I'm good with this. Give me Genti and Ferguson. That's probably fine. I don't know if you're getting a whole lot more off to the performances we've seen out of Amika the last couple weeks here. Seahawks or Rams? Think you got to take the Rams, man. I mean, I love the Seahawks more than anybody, as you guys all know. But the Rams got a great matchup coming up this week here. Caleb or Stafford? Yeah, man, probably going to go with Caleb Williams here this week. Also a great matchup. Sabian, thank you for coming through with a follow right at the gate. Got Chris asking, is Rico Dowdle good? I mean, Rico is good. Yeah, he's good in general. He's had a good few weeks here. I mean, also, Dan Canales comes out this week and says probably going to be the starter, take the majority of the snaps here. So I think Rico's probably going to give you some runway. Maybe not the best, of running back options right now, but I think Rico's for sure a budget guy you can buy and plug and play. I got Connor out here saying I traded Jordan Love for Bucky Irving. Well, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. I've got James Cook for Waddle and Kyron. This one, honestly, man, I'm probably going to be just holding the James Cook side. I mean, I know Kyron and Cook aren't in theory that big of a difference, but to me, they really are. Cook's playing at a pretty crazy level right now. Would you trade Devontae Adams and Javonte Williams for Puka Nacua? No, I would not. No, I would not. I mean, Javonte Williams, running back 5 right now. Devontae Adams, wide receiver 9. Yeah, could I move up to wide receiver 2? Sure. I don't think that really warrants me the best of options out here. In fact, I probably, like I said, I'm holding the package there. I'd like to just take what I have and not be too greedy. You know what I mean? All right, guys. We've got some folks coming along here, different platforms. TikTok's starting to pop off. How are you guys? Make sure you're following so I can pin your comments here. I've got Bradley coming through saying AJ Barner or Mark Andrews. Great matchup this week for Mark Andrews, so I actually am going to take Andrews. Although Barner's been giving you really nice production, honestly, guys. Been a sneaky top 15 tight end this year. But Mark Andrews, I still got to say, against Miami this week, I think we got to start everybody against the Miami defense, to be completely frank with you. You know. What's up, Russ? How are you, Russ? He says, should I start Olave or Bowers at the flex? Probably got to go with Olave. I mean, the thing that is enticing about Bowers is that if you play in a tight end premium league, you're finally getting him back, and he's probably going to come out the gate firing here. But, we'll see. We'll see. Pops says, question isn't sending. I'm sorry, Pops. Pops, you can find me on other platforms. Your question will come through nice and easy. Try the red app or the purple app. Either of those two. I'm live right now, so you can catch me over there. Your chat experience will be quite a bit better. I got Lily Austin Daddy with a little Pete Carroll picture here. Love me some Pete. He says Andrews or Loveland. I'm going to go Andrews, man. Loveland means nothing to me at this point. I've not seen a single thing from Colston Loveland that makes me think he's going to be fantasy relevant this season. I got Max in here saying, would you trade Daniel Jones for Caleb Williams or Tracy? What are you talking about? Anyone Tracy? Tyrone Tracy? Is that what you're trying to say? I would trade Daniel Jones for Caleb Williams and Tyrone Tracy. Yeah, if you're running back needy, I think that's a totally fine trade to make. I got no issue with it. Got no issue with that. All right, I got Cameron in here saying bench 2 Keenan Allen, BTJ, Wandale, Higgins, Hunt. If we're benching two of these, I'm going to be benching Kareem Hunt, and I'll bench Wandale Robinson. Those are probably the direction I'm going to go there. Nothing too wrong with that. Khan's out here repping for the program. Appreciate you, Khan. He says, everyone drop my boy a follow. There's 75 people in here. My guy's putting in the work. Actually, we're up to 105 now. This is the second stream of the day. We cranked the live Dynasty trade show for you guys earlier today. If you missed it, it's fully uploaded to the YouTube right now, so go ahead and check it out. Trade Titans episode 2. Thanks for coming along. If you guys aren't following already, help me with my chat here. Make sure you're following and I can pin your comments. Make my life a little bit easier. I got Cup or Franklin. I'm going to be leaning on the Troy Franklin side on this one. Aiden, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you, man. He says Rico or Warren. Probably still going to lean Jalen Warren ever so slightly here. But I do think Rico Dowdle's in for a good workload this week. You know, definitely got some upside there. Guys, if you didn't catch me already today on San Diego Sports 760 Radio, make sure you tune in every week. We got an awesome thing going over there with a fun group, answering all your guys' fantasy questions and talking NFL roundup for the week. That's going to be found on the iHeartRadio app if you are thinking TV's overrated and the smart guys are on the radio. You know where to find me. Pick 3, Brian Thomas Jr., Bowers, Kelsey, or Diggs. I'm going to go ahead and take Bowers. I'm going to take Diggs, and I'm going to take Brian Thomas Jr. here. Fade Travis Kelsey out of that group. I got Kevin in here asking Andrews or Mason Taylor. That's a tough one. I think Garrett Wilson's not going to play this week, so I think at that point I am going to gas up Mason Taylor for round 2 here. Coming off a great performance last week, seeing 8 targets. I love the usage. I got Dom back in the chat. Dom, thanks for being a longtime follower. Guys, if you're not already following and you're watching over on TikTok, make sure you drop a follow so I can pin your comments here nice and easy, and we'll get those answered for you. I've got Dom saying Javonte and Devontae for CMC. Honestly, man, I'm just going to hold the package. I mean, you got RB5, you got wide receiver 9. Sure, do I want to move up to get running back 2? It'd be great, but I just don't think you need to do this. I don't think you need to do it. All right, I've got Joseph over here saying, is DeAndre Swift fine with his groin? Will he play? Now, look, from everything I've heard, it's trending towards he is going to play, but he is listed as questionable, and you might see a Monungai increased workload. Something to consider when you make your start-sit decisions this week. If you're looking for all the best, most qualified start-sits, make sure you hop in the Discord, guys. It is totally free, pinned on my profile, dynastypricecheck.com. Just go ahead and hop on over there, click the join free Discord. We got a start-sit center, and we got injury updates coming out every single day. I got Aiden over here saying Flowers for Gadsden and QJ. Probably just going to hold the package of Gadsden. He's playing really well right now. QJ is a guy I'm looking to move off of, not going to lie. I've been telling you to sell him for weeks. I've got Porter coming through in here. He says Tyrone Tracy or Dobbins. I am going to be going with Dobbins, man. I know Tracy seems like the fun product now, and everyone's talking about him on the waiver wire. But let's not forget J.K. Dobbins sees 15 rushing attempts last week, goes for 111 yards. Still gives you consistent production. I love what I'm seeing out of the man, you know, every single week. 79, 40, 81, 111. Weeks before that, he hit 101, 83, 76. Just getting good rushing workload here. You know, these touchdowns will keep coming, and they'll be sporadic, and he'll go even higher. I got Nathan saying trade Dowdle and Hunter for Adunze and JCM. I'm going to be just taking the Adunze side here. I think it's the best piece in the trade. I got Nick Young in here. What's up, my man? How are you? He says, how we do. Doing all right, man. Doing all right. We had the radio show today. Nice and fun times over on San Diego Sports 760. Followed by a nice trade show that's being posted and uploaded to YouTube right now. Long-form Dynasty trade show with a special guest. We had the winning Dynasty on this week, answering some of our questions and talking ball. So if you guys missed that, go ahead and circle around to the YouTube and check it out tomorrow. Be thrilled to have you guys liking and commenting on the video. If you're watching over on TikTok here, you're one of the 110. Make sure, just like Nick here, you're a follower, and I can pin your comments, answer your questions. If you haven't checked me out across platforms over on the T-Witch or on the tube that's made for you, Would love to see you guys over there. We've got all the streams running. I've got Trick Nick over here saying trade Knicks, Brian Thomas Jr. and 2 firsts for a third. Sorry, 2 firsts and a third for Lamar and Jay Jettis. Yeah, I did see this one on the Discord, man. I'm pretty sure I responded to you. I think I'm comfortable taking the Lamar side here. I mean, obviously the 2 firsts aren't completely ideal, but at the same time, I am all good with it. Nick says your audio got mixed up. What are you talking about? My audio. Nick says you can hear me all right or no? Is that going? Audio messed up. Hear me all right or no? I didn't change anything. Audio messed up. Hear me all right or no? I didn't change anything. I did not change nothing. I didn't change anything. I did not change nothing. Let me see. Maybe what I got to do is just just turn this one off for now. Hold on. Just turn this one off for now. Hold on. How about that? Any better? Any better? Echoing on TikTok. How about now? How about now? We sound better? We sound any better, guys? Or are we still having issues? Audio's going crazy. I don't know why. I didn't switch anything. Oh. I get it. I know what's happening. Hold on. My bad. All right. Let's try that one on for size. How about that? Better? Better? We good? 1 second delay? Why double audio? How about now? 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 I think we're good now, right? We're good? There we go. Lovely. Sorry, guys. My bad. My bad. Good to have you back. Sorry I missed it. What I was saying was, I don't know what I was saying. I missed it. Oh, it was Trick Nick over here. Trick Nick, I was just saying, I saw this on the Discord, man. I'm fine with you going with Lamar and Jay Jettis here. Obviously, I'm hoping that those first-round picks are late picks and they don't end up being like the 102 or 103, and I'll feel better about it, but that's where we're at. I got Caleb or Love here. I'm going to be taking Jordan Love for the week, but I do think Caleb Williams has some good rushing upside, which you've seen on multiple occasions this season. I got Mick over here saying I traded Puka, Judkins, and Goddard for Abuka, Rice, and Bill. I have CMC. All my wide receivers were horrible. Man, I don't love that. I don't love that, but, you know, I think you did what you needed to do. Don't love it, though, to be frank with you. All right, guys, if you're not already following and you're watching along on TikTok, make sure you drop a follow so I can pin your comments here, answer your questions. If you haven't gone over and checked us out on Twitch or the tube that's made for you, your viewing experience is going to be a bit better over there. A nice little horizontal display and better chat. But I'm going to do the best I can to juggle all the questions across platforms here. I've got Genty for Rome. Probably going to hold Genty here. I think the running back depth is going to matter a lot down the stretch. Got Flowshot in here, one of the mods. How are you, my man? Thanks for coming through, supporting. As always, good to see ya. Got Keith over here saying Bam Knight or Woody Marks. It's going to be Bam Bam this week, man. Bam Bam, great matchup against the Dallas Cowboys coming up here. And I think anybody start rushing against this Dallas Cowboys defense has got to get the start. Got Tristan in here asking, I just traded JK for Olave. I love that. Olave's got one of the best upsides in fantasy right now, having nonstop target production. He was one of the most targeted players in football going into last week. Flowshot, appreciate your gifts as always, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for coming through and supporting the stream. Guys, if you are not already watching along on the purple app, the Twitch, or over on the tube, the red app, go ahead and check us out over there. Experience is going to be a bit better. Would love to see you guys help me grow the following across platforms here, in case anything ever happens to the talk over here. We got Noah saying, yo, would you sit Worthy, Keenan, or Ladd? I would be sitting Worthy out of this group. Chargers offense has been crushing it. I got Vinny over here. What's up, Vin? Vin says Cook for Adunze and Warren. Probably going to be leaning on the Cook side. I just think Cook is more consistent. He's giving you a solid production at that running back position all season long. I'm going to pin Walker up here. Guys, if you're watching over along on TikTok, make sure you're following so I can answer your questions here and get to everybody. If you're not already checking me out across platforms, you can find me on the purple app and the red app as well. But I got Walker saying, do I start Dowdle, Juwan Johnson, or Alec Pierce? You're starting Dowdle by a country mile over here, man. The Dowdle believers are getting rewarded this week as Dan Canales came out and said he's going to take over the RB1 role. and I feel good about putting him in the starting lineup here. I got Adam saying someone offered me Rashi and Tracy for London and Chase Brown. Should I do it? Honestly, I would. It's not anything to do with the Tyrone Tracy hype right now, but it is everything to do with the production you're seeing out of Rashi Rice compared to what I've been getting out of Drake London. It's just unfortunate that, the usage for Drake London has been a bit more sporadic than I had hoped. I expected him to be very consistent, and we haven't seen it. But what you have seen out of Rashee Rice in the 2 games so far, guaranteed 22 points or more. I think that consistency is something that I got to pay attention to at this point. We got Mason in here. What's up, Mason? He says Hunt or Charbonnet. I'm going to go with Charbonnet, man. Charbonnet has been averaging almost a touchdown a game in every position you've put him in. And he is coming out this week with a decent matchup against the Washington Commanders, who have been allowing a decent amount of rushing yards to opposing teams. I think Ken Walker will work in between the 20s, and I do think Charbonnet will see the goal line touches as has been the standard this season. All right, guys, if you're not already following along and you're on TikTok, please make sure you drop a follow. I'll pin these comments up and try to get to as many of you as I can. I've got Zay in here saying, do I start Brian Thomas Jr., Tracy, or Knight? Honestly, man, it's going to sound crazy, but I'm leaning Bam Knight a bit with the matchup here. I think Bam Knight might have a good week. But let's monitor this Trey Benson usage throughout the week, see if they are actually going to activate him here. We've got, what are my thoughts on Quentin Johnston? Nothing, man. Quentin Johnston doesn't mean anything to me at this point. I think, unfortunately, you had your chance to move him. You didn't, and now you're probably stuck with him here. I've got folks coming through saying Javonte and Devontae for CMC. I did get to this one already, Dom. If you can't hear me, I'm saying hold the package. Hold the package here, my friend. We've got Gen Garzin in here saying Keenan plus Allen for Swift. Well, is this Keenan Allen plus Josh Allen? Or is this Keenan plus Braylon Allen? Or is this Keenan Allen for Swift? Kind of confusing wording here, my guy. But I'm assuming this is Keenan plus Josh Allen. I think that's too much. Okay. Niners, longtime follower. You're getting pinned right away, my man. Appreciate you coming through. He says, Dak or Drake May, Dowdle plus Jalen Warren, or Tracy for running back. I'm going to go Dak over May. I'll go probably just going to go Rico Dowdle at running back here. No worries. All right, Matthew, what's up? Chase Brown and Flowers for Jefferson. I am going to be taking the Justin Jefferson side. Numba, what's up, Numba? Numba says Kamara and Monty for Swift. I have 2 other better running backs. No. I'm going to hold Alvin Kamara. I know it's not popular, and he's been letting you down. But, again, I always like to remind folks, this playoff schedule is a running back's wet dream for the fantasy playoffs here. Carolina, New York Jets, Tennessee. I think you gotta just double down and hold it out with Kamara. We got just a chill guy in here. I don't know if you can see behind me here, but we got a chill guy on the wall. So appreciate you being chill, coming through the chill guy stream. Says start 2, flex, Waddle, Bam, Travis Hunter. I'm gonna go Wandale, and I'm gonna go Bam here. All right. Appreciate the share, Kyle. Appreciate you guys interacting with the live. If you're watching over on TikTok, a quick follow would mean the world to you, boy. Share the live. Tap some likes on here. Appreciate you guys interacting. Come check me out over on Twitch and over on the tube that's made for you. Purple app, red app. Your viewing experience and your chat experience is going to be even better over there. If you guys didn't see me on the radio today, San Diego Sports 760, make sure you hop in the Discord for next week so you can catch my radio show through the iHeartRadio app. Appreciate you guys supporting out here as we go through the season. I got Mo Money in here saying, what's up, my guy, Alvin Kamara? It's true, Alvin Kamara. Not bad, not bad. Decent buy, value buy right now. I've got Daniel in here saying, do I flex Gadsden, Charbonnet, or Monungai? Probably going to say your safe bet is Charbonnet for the touchdown upside, but I think Gadsden's got a higher ceiling, so probably would tell you to ride the hot hand of Gadsden right now. I've got Abraham Lincoln in here. Can't believe we got the president in here. What's up, my man? He said, would you trade Ashton Genty for what? I don't know. I'm not trying to move him for nothing, but if I get a good offer, I'd be open. I got Diach here saying, do you think I win this trade? I get Bucky, Warren, and Adunze. I give Rice, Javonte Williams, and Debo. I would honestly be taking the Rice side here. Rice and Javonte Williams. Hard for me to pass up. Simon, Arvin, thank you guys for the gifts up here. Prince, thank you for the gifts. Prince, I'm going to go find you, pin you, man. I'm sorry I missed you over here. Guys, all the gifts are greatly appreciated. If you want me to take a look at your Dynasty roster or your redraft roster and give you a little roster breakdown live on the stream, we had some Galaxies dropping the other night. You want to drop a Galaxy, I will pull up your team and live review it for you, tell you what trades I would make. We'll do a little bit of fun Galaxies tonight if we can get any coming my way. If you guys feel so inclined as well to donate through the Buy Me a Coffee link on my website that's pinned on my profile, this is our second stream of the day, technically third, with the radio show. Your boy's voice is tired. We've been grinding. A little coffee would take us a long way. Got Prince over here saying Andrews or Kincaid. I think you got to lean with Andrews this week. Great matchup for him over here. And, getting to face that Miami defense, basically what everyone and their mom's been waiting for. I got Bustos over here saying Christian Watson or Keenan Allen flex. Honestly, man, I'm going to lean Keenan Allen. I know Christian Watson gave us a nice little performance out of the gate this week, but I'm going to hold. Simon, again, thanks for the gifts, my friend. He said start Jackson Dart or Sam Darnold this week. QB1 as a bye. Yeah, honestly, man, my suggestion is your safe bet is going to be Sam Darnold. But I do think the rushing upside that Dart's providing you on a weekly basis here is something that can't be ignored. This Niners defense is pretty banged up. I think I'm going to tell you to lean Dart, even though Darnold's definitely a safe play. Don't get me wrong. I've got Drake season in here. Guys, if you're one of the 120-plus over watching on TikTok, please make sure you're following so I can pin your comments, make my chat a bit more readable so I can get to everybody here. If you're over on the T-Witch or on the tube that's made for you, you're going to have a little bit better of a chat experience. Hopefully we'll see you guys over there. I've got Drake saying Metcalf, Kamara for Jacobs. Give me Jacobs here. I've got Prince coming back through saying, play Andrews even if I have Henry. Yeah, man. Double dip on that Miami defense. I got no issue with it. Juan Pablo. What's up, Juan Pablo? I'm going to pin you on up. He says, trade Tucker Kraft and JCM for Nico Collins. You know, this is a tough one for me because I do think Nico's grossly underperforming, but at the same time, you got Tucker Kraft, who is confidently tight end 1 right now. Let me double check it, but I'm pretty sure he is. Yeah, he comes up against a great matchup here against Carolina as well. I think you got to go Kraft, man. I think I'm holding Kraft here. Nico hasn't shown me enough. In the offseason, I'd be thrilled on this move, but I do think Tucker Kraft's probably outscoring Nico Collins rest of the season here, which is not something I would have guessed I'd be saying. Arvin, thanks again for the gifts, my man. He says Lamar and JSN for Gibbs, Dak, and T. Higgins. Who wins? This one, man, Lamar and JSN for Gibbs, Dak, and T. Higgins. Probably going to be going with the Lamar side here. You know, I think Gibbs is obviously a great running back, and you're still getting Dak coming back to you, but getting the wide receiver 1 combined with a quarterback that has the option to be quarterback 1 on any given week is something I can't overlook. Ashton comes through with the follow. Now I can pin his comment on up. Thank you, Ashton. He says Bam Knight or Jordan Addison at the flex. It's going to be Bam Knight, honestly. Great matchup against Dallas. I got Rachel coming through saying Nix or Jones. I think you got to take Bo Nix this week. Got a couple folks coming through with the follows. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for your support. I've got Ian in here dropping the follow. Appreciate you, Ian. You let me know what you need in the chat. I've got Lucas saying trade Gibbs for Henry and Adams. Yeah, I'll take Henry and Adams. Give me the combo. Let's see. Ian, man, appreciate you coming through. I see your comment right here. You're getting pinned on up. He says trade Matt Stafford for Nico Collins. Yes, that one I'll do. Give me Nico Collins here. I've got Lane Price coming through after the follow. Thank you, my friend. He says I traded Chase Brown, Addison, and Tet for Nico and Walker. Yeah, man, Addison and Tet for Nico and Walker. That's fine. I do like Tet a lot, but I do think, Nico's obviously got more upside than the both of them if he can put it together rest of the season. And Kenny Walker's still got a chance to come through here. I've got BBRONs over on YouTube saying, do I trade Dowdle and Swift for Derrick Henry? It's not a dynasty league. Yeah, I'll take Derrick Henry here. I think that's more consistent performance for you. Not to mention Derrick Henry has quite the easy schedule for the remainder of the season. I got Gravedigger over here. Thank you again for following along, my friend. He says, would you trade CMC and Olave for Lamar, Devontae Adams, and David Montgomery? Personally, man, you're going to find me hard-pressed to move off of CMC, and I'm going to say no. I want CMC. Olave is one of the most targeted players in all of football. I think you got to just ride it out here. VIP, man, I saw your text right before I hopped on here. I'll have time for you after the stream tonight, so let's go ahead and connect and bang something out. Sorry for not getting back to you. Was filming the trade show this afternoon, had the radio show this afternoon. Man, you boys just been talking, jumping between platforms. Appreciate you guys riding with me. VIP's been around from the beginning. Says, would you trade a Dunze and 2 future seconds and Baker for JSN? Yeah, I would. I'll take Jackson Smith and Jigba here. My real issue, man, is just that you've been dealing with some Lamar injuries, and that does leave you very thin at quarterback. Baker's carried you pretty strong here, and this is a high-scoring quarterback format. So let's talk a little bit on the phone after this, all right, my man? We will connect. Let me just hit you back over text right now, just so you know I'm acknowledging you. It's my bad, my friend. All right, brother. Appreciate you coming through. I got Logan in here saying, do I start Franklin or Pierce? It's going to be Franklin. It's going to be Franklin if I had to pick between the two. I got Sasha in here saying, what do you think about Achane 1-for-1 with Rashee Rice? Gonna be leaning the Achane side here, even though Rice has been showing us some great performances. Chicken Mando in here saying, would you trade Puka and Quinton for JSN? No, I don't see a reason to change Puka and JSN. The two of them are pretty much neck and neck for me here. I think, one or the other, you're just flipping a coin. I don't really do coin flip trades. I want to make sure I'm either for sure winning the trade or I'm getting something on the other side of it that is balancing it out. Guys, if you're not already following along and you're watching here on TikTok, please make sure you drop a follow so I can pin your comments, make my chat a bit more readable. If you haven't already hopped over to the Tube over to Twitch, you're going to have a bit better of an experience over there. The chat's a lot easier for me to manage, so if for some reason your questions aren't coming through here or I'm having a hard time juggling all 100 of you, come attack me across platforms, all right? You'll get a better opportunity. I got Kevin here. Going to pin you up, Kev. Longtime follower. Appreciate you, man. I traded Shakir for Boutte and DJ Moore in a 14-man. Who do I start out of those two in the flex? I'd be going with Shakir here, man. I'd be going with Shakir. Oh, just kidding. You traded Shakir for Boutte and DJ Moore. If I got to pick between the two, probably leaning Boutte, man. I've seen nothing out of DJ Moore that excites me this season. I got Adler over here. What's up, Adler? He says Monty for Flacco and Jacoby Myers, 12-man Superflex. Yeah. I'm going to be going with the Flacco and Jacoby Myers side. Flacco's obviously giving you solid production here from the quarterback side of things. Jacoby Myers could get traded. Probably one of the only guys you might see get traded before the deadline here. That's where I'd be. Would you trade Ferguson for Bowers? I would. Give me Bowers rest of the season now that it looks like he's healthy and ramped up to go. I know we've had a real disappointing run from him, but just as far as target share and opportunity goes, I think I'll take Bauer on this one. All right. Thanks, Andre, for the follow, my man. Andre, if you need anything in the chat, you let me know, friend, and I'll pin you up. If you guys are not already following and you're watching along on TikTok, please make sure you're following so I can pin these comments here. Spence's Goods comes through often. What's up, Spence? Appreciate you. He says, redraft Adunze Smith and Bucky for Devontae, Genty, and Worthy. Also, don't think you're live on Tube. I should be. Yeah, maybe there I am. Should be. All right. Not sure why we were struggling, but appreciate you giving me the heads up there. There we go. Should be good to go on the Tube. Maybe you guys can track me better there now. Should I start Brashad Smith in a vacuum? Sure, if that's your only option, but not exactly sure what you're dealing with. Would you sell Ferguson? For the right price, I'd sell anybody. I got J. Dizzler. What's up, J. Says T. Higgins or Trey Benson as a rebuilder. Honestly, man, as a rebuilder, I'd probably be taking the Trey Benson side. It's close, though. It's close. I think the risk you're running with Trey Benson is just that, he might not be the starting back coming into next season if the draft falls a certain way. Spence, you're absolutely right. I did miss you because I got distracted with the YouTube. He says, redraft Adunze, Smith, and Bucky for Devontae, Genty, and Worthy. This one, I'm going to be taking the Devontae and Genty side, okay? Devontae and Genty side there. Mike, what's up, Mike? Thanks for coming through, man. Nice to see you. Says, start Gadsden or Kittle, or should I sell one? You should absolutely sell one. No reason to hold both. I would personally be starting Kittle, and I would be selling the hype of Arondre Gadsden, seeing if you can go get a running back to help you for the playoff stretch. I got J.J. McCarthy in a second for Dak. I'm going to be taking the Dak side here, man. Personally, I'm just not a big J.J. McCarthy guy. Not only in real life, but in fantasy. I just don't see a world where he really becomes crazy fantasy relevant. You got Dak Prescott playing at a top 10 level right now. There we go. Alex says, check your T-Witch. What? That's not working either? Yeah, it should be. Here we are. I see it all good. Let's see. Why is my chat not coming through on my studio app here? I should be getting chat from T-Witch, but maybe it's not coming through. I do see Rigged Monkey coming through here. What's up, man? Thank you for hopping in here. Sorry, guys. For some reason, it's not populating my chat. Need to make sure everything's working. There we go. Sending to all platforms. Let's see if that'll come through now. Yo, do me a favor. If you're watching on Twitch right now, guys, send me a message real quick. Post a comment. Let's see if I can get it coming through on the software now. Yo, still not coming through on my platform here. Kind of annoying. Sorry, bro. All right, well, can't get it to sync perfectly right now, my chat's here, so I'm going to drag this one over, and hopefully I can read these off of here. Appreciate you guys coming through. I'm going to try to juggle everything I got, and thank you for sticking with me. All right, over on the T-Witch, I'm going to dive into some of these questions. Appreciate you, Rigged Monkey. Rigged, I can't even tell, man. What is going on this Twitch? Okay, there we go. All right, traded J.K., Olave, and Etienne, and Wandale. I know I lost, but J.K. has the hardest schedule remaining, and Olave has a new quarterback, but what do you think? Yeah, probably would be, probably would have been taking the J.K. and Olave side. I normally don't let schedule determine too much. Like, I like to pay attention to it, but nah, this isn't really my favorite trade for you. I'm sorry, man. I've got Premier Day saying, should I send CMC and Ibuka for Rashi Rice and Saquon? I'd take the Saquon and Rice side here, honestly, man. I'd take the Saquon and Rice side. I've got K Hatch. Thank you for coming through, man. He says Drake or Rome and a second. This is a brutal one, honestly, and I think that's the tough part, man. Is we are coming to a place where I was really high on Drake London in the offseason, and now he's just kind of been putting up a mediocre season. Wide receiver 27, very boom bust. Adunze on the other end of things, I think is just as good talent prospect-wise, but again has been a little bit hit or miss. I think here's the thing. I'm still going to lean Drake May over Rome Odunze, Drake London over Rome Odunze just barely. But if you could somehow make this into a Drake London in a second for Rome Odunze in a first and get yourself a pick swap that actually gets me out of bed in the morning, that's what I think you should counter with, my friend. See if you can print yourself a free first, because I don't think the difference between Drake London and Rome Odunze is nearly as big as people might think. I'm going to pin a couple of these comments up over here on TikTok so I don't lose them juggling across platforms. If you guys are watching on TikTok, I can't pin your comments if you don't follow along, so make sure you follow, and I'll help hopefully get to your guys' questions in a moment. I got Biggest over here. Thank you for being a first-time chatter on the T-Witch. He says, trade Downs and Purdy for Marks and Shakir. I'd personally be holding the Downs and Purdy side, man. I've got a first-time chatter over here, Moneyman, saying price point on Charbonnet. Well, if you're asking in Dynasty, man, I'm not selling Charbonnet for anything less than early second and third. Now, if this is a redraft question, then, I think equivalent wide receiver that, would maybe be giving you top 25, top 30 production in Stephon Diggs is a good opportunity for you. But that's kind of the type of moves I'd be making. Nothing too crazy, because I do think Charbonnet is giving you solid touchdown upside. I traded Dowdle and Gadsden for CMC. Jesus, that is a massive W over there on TikTok. Congrats, my friend. You are fleecing. I'm going to go ahead and pin this comment up here. Make sure you guys are following along so that I can help you out further. Make sure you drop a follow if you're watching on TikTok or across platforms on Twitch or YouTube. I've got Jay Kizzle saying pick 3, K9, Charbonnet, Hunt, Bam, Chase Brown. Give me Chase Brown, give me K9, and give me Bam Knight. Bry Guy saying I got offered Daniel Jones and JSN for Purdy, Henderson, and 226 firsts. If these 226 firsts are going to be mid to late, I'll do it. Because I love buying JSN. But if they're going to be potentially top 3 to top 5 picks, then no. Pops is saying, are you sure we're taking Devontae Adams over Drake London? Yeah. Not in Dynasty, obviously, but in redraft I am. Bull's coming through, man. He says, just got Gadsden for Khalil straight up. That's awesome, man. Good for you. I'm hoping it's a tight end premium league here. I've got Etienne or Bam Knight coming through in the chat. Probably going to be leaning the Etienne side. I know Knight's got a great schedule this week, and I've been telling you guys that if you have the chance to potentially play him, I think he's a good flex play. But at the same time, I don't want to get too crazy here. I mean, Travis Etienne was giving you some really solid production to start the season, and I do expect that to come back. I got Moneyman over here on the T-Witch saying Wan'Dale Robinson in a 26th third for Charbonnet and a 4th. I'm getting Charbonnet. Yeah, this one I'll take Sharbs. I'll take Sharbs. I think Sharbs is in line to get a starting running back spot in the next year or so. And so while this trade might not look incredible in the immediate, because I do think Wan'Dale's got upside. Don't get me wrong. Like, Wan'Dale's a solid flex play. But, I think I just prefer having a potential starting running back for the future over on the other side of things versus if I need to replace a Wan'Dale Robinson-style production, I should be able to. Hopping back over to TikTok for a moment here. I got Gersden. I'll pin you up again, man, because I know you missed the last one. If you're one of the 100+ watching over on TikTok, make sure you guys are following so that I can pin your comments up here. I've got Gersgen saying Keenan plus Dobbins for Swift. No, I'm going to just hold the Dobbins side here. I got Ryan saying, should I accept this trade? Bucky and QJ receive. Sorry, you send Bucky and QJ. You're receiving Marvin Harrison Jr., Vidal, and Keenan Allen. No, I'm just going to hold the Bucky side here. Stephon Diggs Stephon Diggs and Swift for Ladd. Yes, I'll take the Ladd side here. I'll take the Ladd side. Mike, thank you so much for the Dolphins, man. I'm going to pin you on up here and get back to you in just a moment. I've got Yo Man Joe over on Twitch saying, redraft, would you do Derrick Henry, Garrett Wilson, J.K. Dobbins for Jahmyr Gibbs and Zay Flowers? Honestly, man, I would be doing the Derrick Henry and Garrett Wilson side here. First time chatter from Tan13. Thank you, Tan, for coming through. He says Downs, Charbonnet, or Woody at the flex. Definitely for me, it's gonna be Josh Downs if he's playing. And if he's not, we're going to take Charbonnet for the touchdown upside. Mike is asking Adunze and Gadsden for Rice. I will take the Rashee Rice side here, man. I'll take the Rashee Rice side. Guys, if you're one of the 115 over on TikTok and you're not following, make sure you drop a follow so I can pin your comments up here. I've got trade Vidal, Goddard, and Adunze for DK and Pickens. I'll take the DK and Pickens side here. Bull, thanks again the other day for the Galaxy, man, and letting me crank a roster review for you. If you guys are looking for something similar, just drop a little Galaxy here, and we will get your roster pulled up. I'll tell you what moves I would make. He says Dak versus the Cardinals or Dart versus the Niners. I think you got to go Dak, man. I've got Grady in here saying, is Bucky Irving's injury something to be concerned about? Yeah, of course. I mean, I did hear rumors at one point that they were considering surgery. I don't love that. Now, I haven't heard anything else on that, so hopefully not. But, at this point, I think definitely something to keep tabs on. Travis Hunter, Jacoby Myers. I'm going to play Jacoby Myers this week. I think the Raiders are going to come back to life a bit here, man. All right, I've got Yo Man Joe saying, if it was Pickens instead of Wilson, would you still not do it? If it's Pickens, it'd be Derrick Henry, Pickens, J.K. Dobbins for Gibbs and Zay Flowers. If it's Pickens, I'd probably take the Gibbs side. Yeah, if it's Pickens, I'll take the Gibbs side. Got a couple first-time chatters over here. Thanks for coming through, Harry Tubbs. Harry Tubbs is saying Kareem Hunt or Rico Dowdle. It's going to be Rico Dowdle, man. I think I'm going to go with Rico this week. Dan Canales comes out. He says Rico's going to take the starting snaps. I like to see that. I think wheels up on the Rico Dowdle train, okay? I got Dom saying, what could I get for Vidal? Well, Dom, if you haven't already hopped over to my profile for today, check out the video I posted this afternoon. Printed a second-round pick for Vidal this week in 2027. I think I've seen him go for that. If you could get 2/3 and get yourself some extra liquidity, I think it's not a bad move. I got a distraction coming through over on Twitch. Thanks, man. He says, just traded Nico Collins and Chase Brown for CeeDee Lamb and Khalil Shakir. W or L. I have Breece Hall, Dowdle, Bam Knight, running back, Tet, and Ibuka. Yeah, I like this. I think, you tiered up from Nico to CeeDee. That's a W. Probably a little bit of a tear down from Chase Brown to Khalil Shakir, but Khalil Shakir has been very consistent for you, and you do have running back options. So I like what I'm seeing here. I like what I'm seeing. K Hatch over on Twitch is saying, what is Christian Watson's dynasty value? Now, that's a great question. I think from what you've seen out of him over the last couple weeks, you could probably get up to 2/3 now back for Christian Watson. I still don't think you're getting a second for him. If you can, I'd personally take it at age 26 with all the injury concerns he's already had. I'm okay taking that deal. But to be completely frank, I wouldn't send anything more than 2/3 for him if I was a buyer and you really need wide receiver depth. But that's just me. That's just me. Got Anthony saying, do we start Rico this week? Yes, you do. Be starting Rico Dowdle this week. I'm happy with it. Travis Hunter or Troy Franklin rest of the season. I'm going to take Troy Franklin, guys. I know it's not the popular opinion, Travis Hunter with that high draft capital, but the fact of the matter is Troy Franklin is wide receiver 24 on the season, and he's having a really sneaky, solid wide receiver 2 season that I think, it's coming in spurts for sure. A lot of nothing and then a lot of something all at once, but I like what I'm seeing out of him. I've got Laporta or A.J. Barner. I think you got to go Sam Laporta here. As much as I'm a Seahawks fan and want to just tell you, wheels up on A.J. Barner. I think Sam Laporta is a safer option for you. But I will say, A.J. Barner's looked real good this season. He's averaging a large portion of the snap share. He's getting targets downfield. Can't be mad at what I'm seeing out of A.J. Barner, especially if you play in a tight end premium league. I got Grady in here, longtime follower. Guys, if you are watching over on TikTok and you're not on Twitch or YouTube, please make sure you're following so that I can pin your comments and make my chat a bit more readable. Appreciate your guys' support out here. If you haven't already checked me out on other platforms, chat experience might be a bit better over there, so I do suggest you check it out. If you missed me today on San Diego Sports 760 Radio, make sure next week you are in the Discord so you can stream it through the iHeartRadio app that I supply on the Discord. It is totally free to join. Just click the website on my profile, dynastypricecheck.com, and click the Join Free Discord button. I'd be happy to see you guys in there. If I can't get to your questions tonight during the stream, I can get to them all week long in the Discord. And we got a members-only watch party tomorrow for Thursday Night Football, answering all your questions for an hour before the game to set your lineups and then breaking down the game together with you. It'll be a blast. I got Grady over here saying, should I try trading Bucky or what's up? Honestly, man, it's tough to say because I can't tell you for sure when Bucky's finally going to see the field here, and he's been struggling with the injury. He still is not going to play probably, coming into the bye week here. Obviously going to get a little bit of a rest, but maybe against New England. At this point, I think I'd be tentative on Bucky Irving here. I got a first-time chatter over on T-Witch. Thanks for coming through, man. Stock on Aaron Jones. Now, in Dynasty, I'm not giving up anything more than 2/3 for Aaron Jones, but in redraft, I would be comfortable, trading, one of my deeper wide receivers like a Josh Downs or something to bring in some running back depth for the playoffs. But, hard to say for sure. I've got Abram in here. What's up, Abram? He says, would you trade Jacobs? In a vacuum, I'd trade anybody, but I'm not interested in trading Josh Jacobs if you're a contending roster. Now I've got Max over here saying, what do you think about trading Garrett and Chase Brown for Swift and Shakir? No. Garrett Wilson's far too valuable to me, and this isn't enough. This is not enough. RJ, what's up, man? Thanks for coming through. If you guys are watching over on TikTok, make sure you're following so that I can pin your comments. If you want to check me out across platforms over here on Twitch or YouTube, would love to see you guys there as well. I've got RJ saying Bam or Dobbins. This is a tough one, man, because here I am. I've been touting Bam Knight's matchup against Dallas, saying you probably got to start him. But then again, Dobbins puts up 111 yards this week. I think you got to go Dobbins. He's just a far more talented runner. And so, there's times I try to play the matchup, but then there's other times that I simply look at the talent profile and say, yeah, I can't miss it. So I'm going to tell you Dobbins here. I've got Endispute. What's up? End over on Twitch. Appreciate you coming through as a first-time follower. He says, I traded Kyren and Garrett Wilson for Gibbs and Flowers. Was it a good trade? Well, I mean, you definitely got a running back tier up here. Now, I do think you tiered down at wide receiver. This is typically how that works when you go ahead and get the better RB. But I do think Gibbs will significantly outscore Kyren the rest of the season, and Garrett's dealing with the injury, so I don't have an issue with this, man. I think this is a good trade for you. Hey, mine was dropped in redraft, or I'm thinking of dropping Alec Pierce for Jones. Yep, that's fine. My wide receivers are Puka, Amon-Ra, Addison. Yeah, you're loaded at wide receiver, man. That's awesome. All right, I've got Rylan coming through here saying Daniel Jones or Jaden Daniels. Now I'm going to remind myself, what is the matchup for the Colts this week? I think this ends up being a fun game this week for the Colts. A lot of offense going around. Daniel Jones. I think I'm going to tell you to start Danny Dimes here. Going to say Danny Dimes, all right? I've got Gadsden or Kittle in here. And honestly, man, don't disrespect my man George Kittle like this. You got to be playing George Kittle. Now, I know Gadsden's been having quite the run here, and he does see a favorable matchup against a Titans defense that's done nothing this year. But I do got to imagine they lean a bit on the run game, try to burn some of this clock. And I think I'm telling you to play George Kittle comfortably here. Guys, if you are over on TikTok watching along here, make sure you're following so I can pin your comments, make my chat a bit more readable. Thanks for your support today, guys. If you already missed me on San Diego Sports 760 for my radio show today, make sure you hop in the Discord. That's pinned on my profile here on my website. And make sure you don't miss the show next week. We got awesome stuff coming every week on the radio. And even if you're not local to the San Diego area, I'd be happy to have you guys tuning in through the iHeartRadio app. I got Abram saying, would you trade Jacob for Gadsden? No, I would not. Josh Jacobs is far too valuable. We've got Gadsden for Kraft. Man, give me Kraft every day of the week and twice on Sunday. It's not even close. I've got Henry coming through with a follow. Now I can pin him on up. Thank you, Henry. Appreciate you following the instructions. He says, I traded JT and Diggs for Bucky, T-Mac, and Rome. Grab Diggs off waivers. Good trade. This is okay. To be frank, man, I think it's really hard to move off Jonathan Taylor right now. He is outscoring everyone and their mother by 1,000,000 points. So I don't know if I love it, but if you know me well, you know I love Tedero McMillan. You know I love Bucky. I think overall this isn't a bad trade. Kraft was my carry last week. Couldn't agree with you more there. Kraft is carrying a lot of teams to victory right now. We've got Ashton coming through. Ashton, appreciate you, man. Pinning you up. He says, traded Dobbins, Sutton, and Shakir for Otten and Vidal and Fannin. Yeah, man. I think this one is I would have preferred the Dobbins and Sutton side. That's just me. I pin a couple of these up. G Hizzy, thank you for the follow, my friend. I've got Eric in here saying, picks-wise, what is Daniel Jones worth to you? Well, that's the tough one, man, because I know that there's a massive extension coming for Daniel Jones, and when that happens, he is going to be guaranteed a first-round pick minimum because he's only 28 years old and putting up a top 10 quarterback season on a high-powered offense. So I think your asking price on Danny Dimes probably got to be a 26 first and second at this point. Not going to lie. All right. I got Raul in here. What's up, Raul? Guys, if you're watching over on TikTok and you're not on Twitch or YouTube, please make sure that you are following so that I can pin your comments nice and easy here. He says, I traded James Cook plus Debo for Bucky and DK. This one, I probably would have rather had James Cook, to be completely frank, but I don't hate it. Nee, thank you, Nee. He says, should I start Jaylen Warren or Marvin Harrison in fantasy this week? I'd probably be going Jaylen Warren, man. I do not trust Marvin Harrison at all. Bubba Gump. What's up, Bubba? Says I traded a Dunze plus a 26 late first, a 26 late second for Gadsden and Judkins. Did I win? I don't think I like this one, to be completely frank with you, man. I'm looking at Rome Odunze, seeing him as like a top 12, top 15 wide receiver in Dynasty. Now, I do love Quinshawn. Don't get me wrong, but I just think that this might be a little bit too high of a buy on the Gadsden hype train. I'm going to say no on this one. I'm sorry, man. I know you already did it, but I'm always keep it a buck with you guys, give you my opinions. I got Jack in here saying flex, start, Debo, K9, Spears, or Marks. This one for me is going to be starting Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker out of this group, okay? I got Chase in here saying Ferguson, Flowers, or Dowdle in the flex. For me, it's going to be, drumroll please, Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle week. Rico Dowdle as the starter. Let's see what he's got for us, all right? Going to go ahead and pin up Elijah here saying Olave, Vidal, or Dowdle in the flex. Going to go Olave 1, Dowdle 2, Vidal 3. If you're watching over on TikTok, guys, and you're not a follower, I cannot pin you a comment up, so make sure you go ahead and drop one if you're one of the 140 out here. I've got Spence saying, redraft, what do you think about Rome and Devontae for a guy like CD? Yeah, give me CD here pretty comfortably. I got Annabelle over on Twitch. Thanks for coming through, Annabelle. Good to see you. She says, redraft, trade away Chase Brown for Debo and Addison. Now, if you're really wide receiver needy, I'm fine with this. But I would like to remind you, for the playoffs, if you are a contending roster and it looks like you're going to be making the playoffs here, Chase Brown, just like Alvin Kamara, probably one of the best schedules you could ask for here. Baltimore, Miami, Arizona. So I love Chase Brown as a buy and a stash for the long haul. If you look like you're going to make the playoffs, this is a good buy. I got Tall Manco over here, first-time chatter. Thanks for coming through. Hopefully can earn your follow over on Twitch. He says, Allen in a one-quarterback league as a rebuilder for a 26 first, current 101, minimum 103, 27 first, likely early, and Tootin. This is brutal because it's a one quarterback, right? So in the one quarterback format, you really are trading away the quarterback one. Now, if I'm getting the 101 and potentially the 103 in a 27 class, which is going to be lucrative, that is, Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams territory. Unfortunately, this is a long way away. I'm probably thinking you could still get a little more for Josh Allen. I mean, here's my thing, man. If you're a full rebuilder, I'm asking, what is the process towards competing? Like, how many wide receivers do I need? How many running backs do I need? What is your starting format? Is it deep? Is it shallow? All these questions. First off, man, if you are looking for a full rebuild and you're stuck on where to go, your best bet is not to even plug. Go over to my website, dynastypricecheck.com. Get yourself a Dynasty Detox. I break down your entire roster for you and make sure I give you a really good plan on all the trades I'd be making and direct trades in your league so I can pull up all your information through Sleeper. Now, again, that all being said, I would be tempted to explore other offers first. If I am selling Josh Allen, I want to make sure I have gone to every single owner in the league and see what offer I can get for him, because I do believe, shopping your top players is how you're going to get the most amount for him. So if I could look around and get JSN plus Amari and Hampton for Josh Allen, that might be something I'd rather explore than take the swing on the picks, right? And have to wait so long to kick off my rebuild. So I think, again, let's start exploring some packages here. Could I get Garrett Wilson plus Ashton Genty for Josh Allen? You might be able to. Could I get Garrett Wilson plus Kyron Williams plus a first? Now we're talking a little bit like you're able to turn this rebuild around a lot quicker. So things I'd be interested in there, Tall Manco. Hopefully, if you want to hop over to my website, dynastypricecheck.com, get yourself a Dynasty Detox, or at the very minimum, go and join the free Discord, and we can help you in the Dynasty roster construction page. I got Nathan over here on Twitch. Hopefully can earn your follow as well. First-time chatter. Appreciate you, man. James Cook or Javonte Williams rest of the season. I think I'm got to be taking James Cook here. He's just had these insane blow-up games, and the Bills' offense is looking solid. However, I think Javonte's a great option for a little bit cheaper, so, nothing crazy there. I got Jack saying, should I be trying to trade away should I be trying to trade for Chris Godwin? In a vacuum, no. I haven't seen a lot from Chris Godwin that's making me crazy confident. on his return. Now, if you're crazy wide receiver needy and you need some value budget buys, sure, Chris Godwin's not a bad option for you. But it's not like I'm sitting here telling you he's one of my favorites or anything. I got Talmenko saying, yeah, I did go to other owners first. It's a 10-man, 1 QB. No one felt they needed a QB. No one else would give me more than 2 late first. Yeah, okay. I mean, if that's the only thing you got, then sure, man. I mean, beggars can't be choosers, right? You don't want to hold Allen on your rebuild. So I'll take the picks. Tootin doesn't really excite me. Is there anybody else that gets me a little bit more, in that deal? Maybe you can even add a throw-in pick on your side, like Josh Allen in a third. Does Tootin become Javonte Williams? I'd love that, but I don't know if you can get it done. Dom, not Don, 24. First-time chatter. Thanks for coming through, man. He says, Jacobs and Mason for and Mason Taylor for Henry and McBride. Give me Henry and McBride here. I think it's just the McBride piece that's selling me, man. You get potentially tight end 1 rest of the season, and I like that. Nathan says, who has a better playoff schedule, James Cook or Javonte Williams? And James Cook, he's going to get New England, he's going to get Cleveland, and he's going to get Philly. And we've got Javonte Williams coming through, and he is going to get, let's see, he's going to get Minnesota, Chargers, and Washington. Honestly, about even, man. I think between the two of them, I'm just taking the better potential player. Goofy, what's up, man? Back again, but would you trade JSN? Wait, would you take a trade, Puka or JSN for Dynasty? I don't really get it. I want both of them, obviously. I want JSN and Puka in Dynasty. Which one would I rather have in Dynasty? I mean, this is brutal, man. I think barely, just barely, I am going to be leaning on the JSN side. And I know it's not a popular opinion, but I think JSN just has a lot further runway. I'm a little bit nervous what happens to Puka when Stafford leaves. But, again, I just prefer JSN in general. Fantasy Finish coming on in here in the live. Thanks for following along, man. I'm always doing, folks, live stream collabs with different creators. We cranked a trade show earlier today that got posted over on YouTube. We cranked a trade show earlier today that was posted on YouTube. So if you guys haven't checked that out, go ahead and hop over and check it out. And if you are a Dynasty fantasy football player like you, fantasy over there that dropped the follow, Fantasy Finish, go ahead and slide in my DMs, man. Would love to collaborate and get you on the trade show. Pick your brain a little bit. Appreciate you coming through, supporting the stream. I got Z Stock over on Twitch saying, would you do Dobbins and a 27-second for Henry? Yeah, if I'm an ultimate contender, I'll take Henry the rest of the season. I've got K Hatch saying Caleb Williams or Rice in a 26 early first. Bro, Rice side by a mile. Holy shit. If you can pull the steal off, this is the steal of a century. I want Rashee Rice in the early first. I think quarterbacks coming in the early first of the 26 class are going to be better than Caleb Williams anyway. I'm over Caleb Williams. I've got Brooks over here saying, I traded Rashi and Saquon for Cook and Pittman in May. Last week, did I win? Rashi and Saquon for Cook and Pittman in May. Yeah, I think you won. I mean, this is a fair trade overall. I don't think there's massive winners or losers on both sides. Let's go ahead, and if you guys are following along on TikTok here and you're one of the 120 plus, can't pin your comment and get through my chat nice and easy if you're not a follower. So please make sure you drop a follow here, and I can get to many of your questions as I can. If you guys haven't checked me out across platforms, either on YouTube or on Twitch, your viewing experience and your chat experience could be a bit better over there. So make sure you follow along, and I will be happy to help you as best I can. Joseph saying, do I go and trade for Tracy or Swift? Honestly, man, I think Tracy will be cheaper, so I'm probably fine to just go and attack the Tracy front. I've got Jared coming through. Jared says, Addison or Bowers in the flex. Kittle's my tight end. I'm going to play Bowers in the flex, man. 2 tight ends this week. I got no issue with it. Elijah saying Tyler Warren or Dowdle. It's going to be Tyler Warren here. We got Thomas saying, my brother, what's up with Williams? I'm just talking about him. Just talking about how running back 5 over here. Great great buy. I think, some people still don't consider him to be in the same range as the James Cooks, the Josh Jacobs of the world, but Javonte Williams is giving you solid production and great numbers. We are also taking a look at the playoff schedule here. Isaac Johnson over on Twitch. What's up, man? Glad you could find me over here. He says, just joined, so IDK what you talked about for Javonte, but would you trade him straight up for Henderson? Contender, but it's a start 9. I also have JT, Genty. Honestly, man, if you have JT and Genty, this is probably one of the situations where I'm fine rolling the dice on Travion Henderson. So I think I'll do this deal. If you could get a tiny bit kicked back on top of it, maybe like a pick swap, go like a Javonte and a third for Travion and a second, I'd feel even better about it. I always like milking them for a little bit more if you can. I've got, is Jordan Addison good rest of the season? Yeah, man, Jordan Addison's good all the time. Jordan Addison's a dog. I think he's one of the most underappreciated assets to have in fantasy. I got Gareth over here as a longtime follower, pinning you up. Guys, if you're not following, you're in the 130 plus over on TikTok watching. Make sure you follow along so I can pin your comments and make my chat a bit easier here. I got Gareth saying Olave or London. Unfortunately, at this point, I think you got to be taking Chris Olave, man. He's a top 10 wide receiver right now, and let's double check and fact check me. I believe he's wide receiver 9, and he is wide receiver 9 on the season, playing real well. Not to mention, I love his playoff schedule. Carolina and New York, Tennessee Titans. I think down the stretch, Chris Olave could mean a lot for you. Could mean a lot. I got Frick Rona over on Twitch. What's up, my man? He says, so do you think it ended up being the right move trading Dart away for Gadsden in redraft? Yeah, that's fine. I think you already had some quarterbacks over there, and you printed a position that you needed. All right. Dylan, thanks for following along, man. Tyron, you too. AJ, all you guys over on TikTok, you're greatly appreciated. Tyron says, Bill, Bam, or Kareem? It's Bam night by a mile, and it's not even close. Carl, Anthony, Towns, my man, I can't believe we got an NBA player in here. He says, trade away Jalen Hurts for Jaden Daniels, Quentin Johnson, and Ken Walker. Sure, I'll take the package. I think Jalen and Jaden Daniels score pretty similarly. You got a free running back out of it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I've got Josh saying, who are some below average RB2s that I can get from guys like Ted, Diggs, Terry? Well, first off, Ted should not be considered in the same room as Diggs and Terry. Tedero McMillan is giving you fantastic production here, and I think he's really being slept on because of his lack of touchdown production here. But my man is averaging over 8.5 targets a game and giving you really solid production. For Diggs and Terry, I'd be looking at guys like Kenny Walker, who's really depleted right now. I'd be looking at guys like Jalen Warren, who's obviously also had his boom-bust weeks. I'd be looking at guys like Alvin Kamara, who's way down in the dumps, but still has PPR upside and a really favorable playoff schedule. Maybe even a Chase Brown, someone in there. Okay? All right. I've got Ashton in here saying, do I trade James Cook for Bucky? I would be keeping James Cook, man. I'd be keeping James Cook pretty comfortably. Jonah saying, what website do you use for statistics on the right? Yes, this is Sleeper. Yeah, it's the Sleeper app, just the web page version. I really like what Sleeper has to offer. They're one of my favorite apps out here to use. And don't worry, they don't pay me nothing. That's just me saying it out of the kindness of my heart. Guys, if you're watching on TikTok and you're one of the 115 plus, please make sure you're following so I can pin your comments here. Make my life a bit easier juggling all the chats across platform. Appreciate you. I got trade Myers for Godwin. Nah, I'm going to hold Jacoby Myers in case he gets traded here. Could potentially be on the move to Pittsburgh maybe. Diddy Nut. What's up, Diddy? Thank you for coming through. He says JD5 or Rogers. It's JD5, man. JD5. Jasu, thank you for the follows. Jackson, Rapids, thank you guys for doing your part over here, helping me out on this platform. Jasu, pinning you up right now, man. He says, would you trade Roma Dunze and Swift for Genty and Abuka? Personally, man, I would be taking the Genty and Abuka side here. I just think that Genty is such a solid step up on DeAndre Swift that it's enough for me to get out of bed in the morning. Randy, thanks for the follow. RJP, what's up, man? I'm pinning you up saying Tracy and Javonte Williams for Achane. I will take the Achane side here. Randy, you getting pinned too. Thank you for your follow, my friend. Traded Pickens and Tracy for Diggs and Genty. Yeah, I'll take the Diggs and Genty side here. Diggs and Genty. Okay. Nick's coming through. What's up, Nicky? He says, do I drop Rashad White for Henderson, Mason, and Spears? I would just be holding Rashad White for one more week here. If you could pick up Travion Henderson for this, I'm fine with it. Ashton, thank you for the follow, my man. Appreciate you. I got Aldo in here. Going to pin you up, Aldo. He says, Ferguson and Pickens for Rashee Rice. Yes, give me the Rashee Rice side here. Rashee Rice. Ashton, you're getting pinned. I saw your follow. Thank you, friend. If you're one of the 100 plus on TikTok right now and you're not following, please make sure you're following along. I can pin your comments up. Trade Justin Jefferson for Lamb. I will prefer the Lamb side just for the quarterback play. I got Kyle saying Chuba and Harvey for DK Metcalf. I'll be taking the DK Metcalf side. Jackson, what is good, my friend? Pinning you up here. He says, would you trade away? Would you trade away Javonte and Rice for Bijan? I would be taking, personally, the Bijan Robinson side here. I'd be taking the Bijan Robinson side, okay? Chase, thanks for the follow, man. Rapids, finally caught you, man. Missed your comment earlier. He says, I'm starting Keenan, Pickens, and Boutte. I have Olave on my bench. Should I start Olave? Yes, you should start Olave instead of Boutte, okay? I've got Elijah saying Tracy or Dowdle. It's going to be Dowdle pretty comfortably for me here, guys. I know Tyrone Tracy is the talk of the town on the waiver wire right now, but still against this San Francisco 49ers team that Robert Saleh has been getting a solid amount of production out of this year on the defensive side of the ball, I think I'd rather just be playing. All right, I've got Ramiro in here. You're getting pinned up nice and quick. What's up, my friend? Ramiro is saying, bro, just traded Flacco, Rome, and Aaron Jones for Bijan. Wow, that's a massive W. Massive W over there. Mikey says, uh-oh. Oh, no. Did we have a little drop, Mikey? We are having some drops across the map here. I'm trying. My internet's doing the best it can. Appreciate you guys following along here. Tony, Mason, thank you. Mason, you're the man. Guys, if you are one of the 110 plus on TikTok, please go ahead and make sure you drop a follow so I can pin your comment here. We've got Abbas. Thank you, Abbas, saying Aaron Jones or Quentin Johnston. It's going to be Aaron Jones for me. Just a bad internet kind of day. Yeah, must be, Mikey. I don't know what's going on. Tyson, John, thank you for the follows, my friend. Andreas is saying Bam Knight or Kareem Hunt. It's going to be Bam Knight for me. Bam Knight for me here. We got Steven. Steven saying, I traded Ibuka and Pitts for Javonte and Hunter Henry. What do you think? I would personally rather have the Javonte Williams side rest of the season. I think he outscores Ibuka down the stretch. I've got Elijah saying Kittle or Ferg. Both, my friend. I'm going to lean Kittle, but I want you to play both this week. I've got Tony in here. What's up, Tony? Vidal for Goddard. Yeah, Vidal is only a rental for one more week, so if you need a tight end through the rest of the season, I will be taking Goddard here. Clinton, what's up, Clinton? Clinton is saying Lamar Jackson or Daniel Jones and Nico Collins and Keenan Allen. Give me the Lamar Jackson side here, but if it is going to be Daniel Jones and Nico Collins, I'll take Danny Dimes and Collins in the package. I'll just go ahead and do that. Mikey saying I moved over to Twitch. Right on, Mikey. Glad to have you over here. Frick Rona says, what order would you rather Jacoby be on in redraft? Bills, Steelers, Broncos, or stay on the Raiders? I think I'd rather have Steelers number 1. Number 2, I'll go Bills. And number 3, I'll go Broncos. I just think very exciting prospect to have him over on the Pittsburgh Steelers with Aaron Rodgers. Looking for someone outside of DK Metcalf to shell the ball to, Looks like they've got DK pretty comfortably. Guys, if you are not already a follower on wherever you're watching from, whether that be TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, would greatly appreciate the support. If you missed my radio show earlier today on San Diego Sports 760, the best way to catch it is through my free Discord. I stream it through the iHeartRadio app. So if you're not already a member on the Discord and you're worried about me getting to your questions tonight, Well, have no fear. If you're in the Discord, we can help you all week long. We got a members-only watch party going on tomorrow where we're going to be watching the football game. We're going to be getting together an hour beforehand so that we can set everybody's lineups for the weekend and help them with their trades and their rosters as we come into a pivotal part of the season. If you're not already a member of the Discord, send me a direct message that says Discord, or feel free to hop over to my website that's pinned on my profile, dynastypricecheck.com, and join the free Discord that way. Would love to have you there. John David says Lamar and Tracy for Johnston and Javonte. I'll take the Lamar side here, honestly. I know you're getting Javonte Williams, but Lamar's hard to pass up in this package. I've got start 2, Flowers, Sutton, Wandale, Tracy, Manungai. I'm going to go with Sutton, and I'm going to go with Flowers. Josh Lopez, what's up, my man? He says, let me get a start, sit decision, Bam Knight or Tony Pollard. It's going to be Bam Knight. Bam Knight. Nick, you're getting pinned up next. Hopping back over to Twitch. ZXTDD, what's up, man? What's up, fellas? Just got a trade offer that has me stumped a bit. Tet for Nico. I'd be giving Tet. No, I'm holding Tetero McMillan here. Holding Tetero McMillan confidently. Got Nick saying, lost Scat. Would you flip Tracy for any other backs or hold Tracy? I'd flip him personally if you can. If you can flip him for a like a tier up, let's see if we could take Tyrone Tracy and, you know, one of your depth piece wide receivers, maybe like a Terry McLaurin or someone that's just waiting around, not playing, maybe even a Debo, and see if you could go tier up to like a Kyron or, you know, a Javonte Williams. I'd love doing a deal like that. Tracy or Debo Samuel. Gonna be Tyrone Tracy on that one, even though I don't love it. If you're one of the 100 plus on TikTok, guys, make sure you're following along here so I can pin your comments, please. All right. I've got Hudson over here asking Kincaid or Kelsey. I'm going to go with Kincaid just slightly. I got Matt saying, do I trade Monty and Gadsden for Bucky? That's a yes. I'll take the Bucky Irving side. It's me saying dropped on Kincaid for Cade Otton. That's going to be a no. That's going to be a no. Hudson saying Kincaid, Kelsey, and pick 2. I got the first part. Pick 2, London, DK, McMillan. I'm going to go with Drake London, and I'm going to go with Teteroa McMillan. I've got user 374 saying I got Bajan, Devontae, and Bowers for Kyron, Rashi, Tyler Warren. I like this. I like the Robinson side here. Zach is saying, is Monty for Breece Hall good? Yeah, of course. If you're getting the Breece Hall side, that's a huge W for you. Huge W for you. All right, hopping back over to the T-Witch. Thanks for sticking with me, Mikey. Appreciate you, my man. Guys, if you're watching over on TikTok and you're not already following, please make sure you drop a follow so I can pin your comments up here and answer all your questions. I got Miles in here asking, should I go Travis Hunter or Wandale Robinson? I'm going to go Wandale Robinson. Brian Thomas Jr. for Tyler Warren. Give me Tyler Warren. Mike, thank you for the follow, man. I'm going to pin you up right now. He says DK and Bucky for Swift and Jay Jettis. Probably just going to hold the DK and Bucky side, honestly. I know it sounds unpopular, but I'm going to do it. Dame says, give Drake London for Rashee Rice. Yes, I would take Rashee Rice at this point. He's simply been too dominant in his comeback, and, man, do I expect this to continue? I'm not exactly sure, but I do expect him to give you more in the immediate. Tony, bro, I do see you coming through here. I just don't see your questions. So it must be something on the TikTok side where they're filtering you out. They don't like the way you're typing it. I haven't seen them go by. I do see this, though. So, Tony, here's your options, my man. Either hop in the Discord and go ahead and ask the question in there. Would love to have you there because TikTok's filtering you. Or, you know, hop over to Twitch or YouTube. Would be happy to help you there, my friend. Sorry, I don't control the TikTok filtered chats. Sometimes they just filter people out, and I got no control over it. Maddie's in here saying, do I start May or Dak? I would personally be going with Dak Prescott this week. I got Gianni coming through here. Gianni, what are we, from Jersey Shore? Gianni saying Cook plus Pearsall for Henry and Tyler Warren. I'll take Henry and Tyler Warren here. I just think you're getting a difference maker at the tight end position. Roop Roop is saying trade Devontae Adams for Ibaka. I am going to be taking the Devontae Adams side. Just more consistent, honestly. Just far more consistent. Guys, if you're not already following, please do me a favor. Drop me a follow. Helps me grow on the platform out here. I got Trixie in here saying Tajay Spears or Nick Chubb off the waivers. Honestly, I don't like either option, to be completely frank with you, but at this point, I'm going to lean Tajay Spears. I think the PPR upside is simply just more exciting than what I am getting out of Nick Chubb. That is the way I am looking at it. Zaire is saying Cade Otton or Kyle Pitts. Going to be Kyle Pitts for me here. We've got Apple user coming through saying, do I trade Henry for CMC? I would take the CMC side and run away to the bank here, my friend. The best ever is saying, who do I start, Lamar or Drake? It's going to be Lamar here. We've got some folks coming through. Guys, I can't pin your comments if you are not a follower. I got G Hizzy saying, why don't you answer, bro? I think I've already explained this, guys, but sometimes TikTok filters my chats. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not getting your question coming through, only these comments. So again, either try retyping the question or hop on into the Discord and you can get my full attention in there. We got a members only live stream going on tomorrow where you won't have to compete with anybody. Or please hop over to Twitch or YouTube. I bet you won't get filtered out of the chat there. Be happy to answer your questions as best I can. Believe me, I am doing my best to juggle 100 plus across multiple platforms. Hopefully I can get to as many of you as I can, but following gives you the best chance so that I can pin your comments and make my chat a bit more readable. I got Austin here saying Bowers or Kraft. It's going to be Kraft, but I think you should start both. I know you have a flex spot, my friend. Woo is saying McMillan for Golden and RJ Harvey. That's a no. I'm holding Teteroa McMillan here. I got Dylan coming through saying Hampton and DK for Swift, Juwan Jennings, and Henderson keeper league. Absolutely not. I want the Hampton side here. This is a bunch of garbage on one side for studs on the other. I've got NFL guy saying, how do we know if TikTok is filtering the question? Unfortunately, you don't know. They don't say anything. They post it as if it's normal. I just can't see it. So that's a potential option that I do see that one. So at least you're getting something to come through. Sometimes they just don't like the way people type their questions, whether it's the numbers or something else going on. Sorry, like I was saying, sometimes it's just the numbers or the way you type the question. I can't help too much. Tegan saying Rashi Rice or Devontae Adams a start. Is this Devontae Adams or Devon Achane? You're starting both, no matter what. Both those guys have to be in your lineup. Okay. Godwin or Worthy rest of the season. It's going to be Worthy here. Guys, if you're watching over on TikTok, please come on, check me out on some other platforms, either on YouTube or Twitch, both of which will be great viewing experiences for you, probably a little bit smoother. If you are going to stay here and watch, appreciate you coming through. Just make sure you drop a follow so that I can pin your comments, answer your questions. We're going to be going for about 10 more minutes here, 10 more minutes. I've already been live twice today. I hit you with the radio show earlier today on San Diego Sports 760 and also hit you with the Dynasty Trade Show across all platforms earlier tonight with a special guest. If you guys want to catch the trade show, we had Dynasty. We did a redraft segment today during the trade show. It's going to be posted on YouTube later tonight, long-form content. If you could hop over, take a watch of that video, drop me a like or a comment, I would feel so appreciative. Thank you, guys. I've got Ethan in here saying, do I start Drake May or Lamar Jackson? It's going to be Lamar. I've got Dylan saying Hampton and DK. I already got that one, and I said the Hampton side. Full send, boys. What's up, full send? Saying I get J.K. Dobbins, Zay Flowers, and Matthew going for Rico Dowdle and Keenan Allen. I'm going to go Rico Dowdle, Keenan Allen side of this one. I've got Ocho. What's up? I didn't know Chit did fantasy football. What's up, bro? What's up? Thanks for the love. Thanks for the love. I got Irving. Irving in here. What's up, man? Saying Tracy Hunt and Myers for Marvin Harrison Jr. and Krosky Merritt. Yeah, I'll just take the... God, this is a terrible trade. I think you should be able to move Marv for more. Go try to get Ken Walker straight up for Marv. I'd just rather have that. Tony saying, won't answer my question. Oh, God, here we go. Goes with Tony. Jamar Chase and Vidal for CMC and GP. Did it work? Now it worked. Now it worked, Tony. Jamar Chase and Vidal for CMC and George Pickens. Give me CMC comfortably here, man. CMC, the comfortable side of things here, okay? I've got Will asking Drake May or Drake May. Really wanted to pull this one up because I feel like it's a tough question to answer. Now let me pull up Drake May's stat sheet and tell you that I think if you're deciding between playing Drake May or starting Drake May, I'd probably just go ahead and play Drake May. That's what I'd say. I think it's a great question, though. I think it's a phenomenal question, Will. Thanks so much for chiming in. Appreciate you guys. I got Brandon in here saying, is there a better wide receiver I can maybe trade Marv for? Probably not, because I feel like someone's just going to look at it and be like, Marvin Harrison, why am I giving up a better Marvin Harrison? Now, I would take Marvin Harrison and pair him with one of your guys and seeing if I could tier up. So a good example would be, if I'm trying to get better at wide receiver, let's try to go buy Garrett Wilson while he's hurt. Take Marvin Harrison, add a Tony Pollard. Now let's try to go buy a Garrett Wilson, offer him to somebody who might need a spot start running back. That's going to be a better option for you than just trying to go 1-for-1 trading Marv away, right? Jab says Pittman or Rice. Give me the Rashee Rice side here. I think what he's doing since his comeback has been fantastic. I got John David hopping in. Guys, I can't pin your comments over on TikTok if you're not following. So please, if you're one of the 100 plus in the chat, make sure you drop a follow, and I'll try to get to your comments as quick as I can. John David says, if Marvin Harrison is on waivers, do I claim him? Yes, he should not be on waivers. Drake May or Drake May or Drake May, though. Definitely still Drake May, Will. I do appreciate you following up with me, though, because, honestly, this is a tough one, and I know you're struggling. Blake, what's up, Blake? Blake says, Kyler Murray or Jordan Love? Going to be playing Jordan Love. I just can't trust Kyler Murray at this point, whether it's the injury or the lack of consistent performances. Not getting me excited. Okay, thank you for the follow, my friend. I'm going to pin you on up here. You're the man. He says Swift or Nico. It's going to be Nico Collins. I don't love it. I know we've been getting hurt by him, but I got to keep going back to the well and trust the process. I got Luke Thomas over here saying Kittle or Gadsden this week. Don't disrespect my man George Kittle like this. We got to be playing George Kittle each and every week. He is a bona fide stud. We got 108 in the TikTok chat. If you are not already following, please go ahead, drop a follow. Make sure I can pin your comments up here, and you guys don't miss anything I got coming at you. This is our second stream of the day. We were live on San Diego Sports 760 radio for our show every Wednesday earlier today. If you're not already a member of the Discord and you missed the show, I'm streaming it through the iHeartRadio app on the Discord every week, so please go ahead and hop in the Discord. Totally free, pinned on my profile here on TikTok. If you are not already a member, simply go over to dynastypricecheck.com and click the join free Discord button. I got the something over here saying, would you start Bam Knight or Gadsden? I'd be starting Bam Knight against Dallas this week. I think it's a fantastic matchup. I got Wyatt in here saying JSN and Spears for Ladd, Pittman, Warren, 12-man fall PPR. Now, if this is Dynasty, I want JSN. If this is simply redraft, I will take the package. I think it gives you a bit more runway. I got, who's my guy in here? I got Matthew dropping a follow so I can pin his comment, although my chat is not trying to be very friendly to me right now, Matthew. It says drop Mixon from IR. Honestly, man, I just don't think Joe Mixon is going to get you anywhere this season. I think I'm fine doing this deal. I got Drake Season saying the GOAT. Thank you, man. Thank you for your support. You know I'm grinding out here for you guys. My voice is killing me right now. We are on the third stream of the day. Been going hours. Like I said, I'm going to run for about 5 more minutes here, guys, and then hop on off. Got to save some voice for tomorrow as we've got another stream coming at you, and we've got a members-only chat happening in the Discord tomorrow to help everybody get their lineup set before the week starts. If you are not already a member of the Discord, totally free to join. This is going to be your best place to get action from me and members of my community as we help you get all your lineups set every week and make the best trades possible. I've got Luke Thomas dropping a follow. I can pin his comment nice and easy. He says Diggs or Gadsden in the flex. Probably still going to lean Stephon Diggs here, man. I know Gadsden's been on a heater, but I got Ashton saying, what should I do with CMC? This is such a loaded question. What do you mean, what do you do with CMC? He's the best player in all of fantasy, and outside of Jonathan Taylor, he's probably going to be your highest scoring asset in the entire league this year. So are you asking if you panic on him? Because you absolutely should not. One down week means nothing to me. I love CMC. Love me some CMC. Yo, thank you for the follow. In Clue We Trust, saying Olave or Adunze. I think, unfortunately, you got to trust Olave a little bit more right now. He's just simply giving you more production. And I think at that point, Gotta just ride the target volume you're getting out of Chris Olave. I got Brody in here asking a question saying, are we playing Bowers or Kraft? Here's the thing, my friend. I know you got flex spots. I know you can play them both. We are playing them both. It's tight end week, all right? Even though last weekend was National Tight Ends Day, I don't give a shit. If you've got Bowers and you got Kraft, those are both guys that need to be in your lineup every single week. Skyler, pinned on up, man. Traded Olave and Rachaad White for Garrett Wilson, Jalen Warren, and Otten. Did I win? I think you did win. You're going to have to be a little patient here, wait for Garrett Wilson to come back, but I like what you got out of here. Garrett, thank you so much for following, man. I'm going to pin your comment up right away. Connor, you too. Appreciate you. Garrett says Dak, Dart, or Caleb. I'm going to just play Dak. Been so consistent for us this season. I think it gives you the most insulation. I got Connor here, pinning up Connor, saying Rashi or London rest of the season. Honestly, I got Rashi Rice over him at this point. Didn't think it would happen. I was crazy high on Drake London to start the season, but we're seeing more consistency out of the 2 weeks we've seen from Rashi, and man, he could have had even more points this week. I've got Warren and Kittle. Who should I start? You're starting them both. We're double dipping on the tight ends again. I love starting 2 tight ends. I don't even care. Trade Tet for the Seattle backfield. This is going to be a no. I'd rather have Tetero McMillan here. I am not fucking with having to decide which one do I play in Seattle every week. That's just going to cause you more of a headache than it is going to help you. So I'm going to say no. I got Sarah here asking Herbert or Jones. I will be playing Daniel Jones. I've got Eddie dropping the follow. Appreciate you, Eddie. Wandale or Hunter this week. I'm going to play Wandale Robinson, my friend. Wandale Robinson. I've got Austin coming through. Thank you, Austin. Pick your spots. Thanks for coming through. Kroll, thank you for coming through, man. Jaden, you too. Jaden, I'm going to pin you on up. See your follow coming through. Jaden says, trade Warren and Worthy for Bucky. This one is going to be a no. I'm going to hold Warren and Worthy. Bucky's injury is making me scared right now. I'm assuming this is Jalen Warren. I think he's a solid RB2 rest of the season. Now, if it's Tyler Warren, I'm holding the Tyler Warren side even more. I've got Chris coming out and saying Dak or Dart. I'm going to play Dak Prescott this week. Oren is out here saying Pitts or Bowers. It's going to be Bowers for me, all right? I've got, what do you think about JCM for Golden? Get JCM off my roster. I'll take Matthew Golden and just try to start on over here, okay? Nico says, I just traded Ibuka for Breece Hall. Did I lose this trade? I think it's about even, man. I think it's about even. I don't have any issues with it. I've got Steven dropping the follow. Thank you, my friend. You're getting pinned on up right here. If you're one of the 120 plus over watching on TikTok and you're not already following, please make sure you drop a follow so I can pin your comment up and answer your questions nice and smooth here. We've got about 2 minutes left on this stream. This is your best chance to get me. I've got Steven saying start Drake May or Daniel Jones. Like I said, man, I actually am going to take Daniel Jones on a favorable matchup against Pittsburgh this week. Although Drake May has looked quite good this season. Guys, I'm going to pull 2 more questions here, and then I'm going to call it for the evening. You've already seen me twice today on stream and once on my radio show on San Diego Sports 760. Real quick before I hop off, if you're not already following along over on YouTube, please feel free to hop over to my YouTube, drop a subscription. It means the world to me. We've got the live trade show that happened earlier today uploading on YouTube right now. You're going to get an hour-long video of all of your redraft and dynasty trades, helping you make the best decisions for the seasons. We just got to do everything we can here. Mikey's saying, got to find a way to get on the radio show. Mikey, man, I got to open up a phone line for the radio show before the end of the season, and we'll have you on, okay? Cash says, start Purdy versus the New York Giants. I do think you are starting Purdy. Yes, I don't know your other options, but I feel comfortable suggesting Brock Purdy on a weekly basis. I do see Steve in here. Steve saying flex Rico or Jennings. It's going to be Rico Dowdle by a mile for me, man. He looks like he's going to be the starting back over in Carolina, and I think that his upside is massive for the rest of the season. Ashton says, who will spark the rest of the season that hasn't yet? This is an interesting one. I do think Travion Henderson will still find some sort of semblance of fantasy usage throughout the rest of the season if Mike Vrabel will give him the chance. So I'll stick with Henderson here. Last one, best one. I'm going to pin Simon up saying Purdy or Dart this week if Purdy plays. If he plays, I'm I'm still going to actually take the rushing upside of Jackson Dart. I got Cash asking one final one, and I am going to pin it on up. Where do we find the trade shows? They go up on my YouTube, my friend. So go over to YouTube, click the live tab, and all the trade show live streams are going to be categorized in there. It is going to be the best place for all your Dynasty trades, hour-long shows, awesome content. We got a redraft question segment in there as well. Couldn't be more thrilled about it. Please support the YouTube show. Hop on over, drop me a subscription, like one of the videos, check out the long form. Would greatly appreciate you guys. Finally, last but not least, I got some folks in the chat saying, I'm 1-7, please help me out. Guys, if you are looking for help from me and my awesome community, hop on over to the Discord, dynastypricecheck.com, type it into your browser, my username with a .com, click the join free Discord. Tomorrow, we got a members-only live stream going on where you can hop on the voice channel with me, talk directly to me before Thursday Night Football and all through the game as we do a watch party. We'll be able to help set your whole lineups for the week, make trade suggestions for you. I see Diddy in here popping up. Please help me. Well, Diddy, get on in the Discord. I'll see you tomorrow for the private members live stream, and we'll get your lineup set for the whole week. I got Fake Joe over on Twitch. I'm about to hop off, but thank you for coming through and dropping a follow. We will help you more as I stream tomorrow. He says, would you do Gibbs and Ladd and Benson for Drake and Josh Jacobs? I'm going to hold the Gibbs side here, my friend. On that one, guys, thank you so much. Appreciate you so much. Come on through to the Discord. I'll see you tomorrow for the stream. Thanks for your support here. Make sure you drop a follow over on TikTok if you're not already. And I will catch you guys in the morning. Thanks again for your support, and take care.